What's good? What's good? What's good, y'all? How y'all doing out there? I want to talk about the Mendeecees interview with Shannon Sharp. A lot of people been talking about, ask me my opinion all day today. People come, yo, what you think about this? What you think about that? A lot of people ask me how I feel about the situation. Did I see the interview and things like that? Man, DC from Harlem. I'm from Harlem, so I guess a lot of people want to know how I feel about the situation. With mainly with him saying that he gave his mom pretty much. He said he gave his mom up for a drug deal. That's how he pretty much worded it. Um, how I feel about that. My thing is this. For one, uh, he's he's bold. Maybe he feel he had to. Maybe it was eating him up inside where he had to speak on it because he said he never told nobody about that. Um, Basically, he's saying that he gave up his mother for some kilos of coke, meaning not gave her up like he snitched on her, not nothing like that. Meaning, he's saying the connect asked him, "Yo, you need to give me your mother address before I give you these keys on consignment, whatever the case may be." And he said, he did it. Me personally, I wouldn't even share that. I wouldn't even share that. Personally, I wouldn't even. Maybe he is eating him up inside where he feel he had to say that out to the public, to the people. I wouldn't have shared it, and not only I wouldn't have shared it, I definitely wouldn't have did that because going to the street game, the rules automatically leave your family out of it at all costs. The minute you tinker and start trying to will and deal and halfway get them involved with shit, that's when shit come back and bite you. And that's when you putting them involved with shit. Well, it's my sister. Can you do me a favor? Can you take this money to this guy? Or can you go pick up this money from this guy? Now they involved, so now when they get locked up or anything, or now robbed or anything, you put them in there. So from the gate, from the gate, just leave them out. Leave them out at all costs. Now, brother, and he in the streets, that's one thing. But family members, leave them out of that. I don't care how many, he said it was a lot of keys. I don't know exactly. He ain't say no number, but me personally, I wouldn't have did that. See, that's the problem. A lot of people, they sell their souls and jump out there and be greedy and do anything for money. I would have got another connect. Let's say I'm just gonna throw a number out there. Let's say it was 20 keys. I just would have been without them 20 keys and got with somebody who probably would have gave me 8 keys or 7, 6, 5 keys, whatever. And I had to go through all that. You know what I'm saying? Because them dudes said, they was like, yo, we need to make sure you're going to do the right thing. His thinking is, I'm pure hearted. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to do what I have to do. I'm trying to get some money. I'm going to do what I have to do to get some money. And I'm not going to do no bullshit to not give you guys back the money, whatever the case may be. But you being in the streets, things don't go as planned. Things don't go as planned. You have to think things through all the time. Shit could go left. You can be going into the purest heart and going to it in good faith. Things happen fast. Oh, could have got robbed. Anything could happen real quick, and things change that fast. Now, the more it is, the harder you have to recover it. On your way from getting it from A to B, or someone you trust, you might left it in their house, they might have snaked you. What? Or you on your anything could have happened. And like I said, if it was a lot, let's say a lot like that is hard. That makes it even worse. Where if you say, "Oh my God, somebody dipped out with the keys," or you got robbed, whatever the case may be, it's harder to recover that to give them their money back. it's going to be even that much harder. So I definitely wouldn't have done that. You know what I mean? I definitely wouldn't have done that, and I definitely wouldn't even shared that. But I give him credit because he said, looking back on it, he wish he hadn't done it, and he felt some regret, and he said it from the gate that that's something that he shouldn't have done. So I give him credit on that. Like, I'm big on someone, I'm not going to ridicule him for a mistake he made when he was younger like that, and he recognized pretty much what he done, and I wish he could have probably went more in depth. The main reason making me do this video because it's young people watching it. And sometimes when you just give a vague statement, well, I was young, I shouldn't have done that. You really too much not helping the young guys or the people behind you to understand why you didn't do it. It's easy to say I shouldn't have done something, but you have to give correct details. That's why I broke down how things can happen. You can go into it in good faith, and things can happen unexpectedly. So that's why I'm really doing a video for anybody young or watching the video. You have to think and keep things in perspective at all times. You know what I mean? I understand 20 of them things can take you somewhere, but also 5 or 6 can take you somewhere. You just build to that 20. You 5 and 6, you can make a lot of moves if you ain't had to per se. Let's say had to give up your mom a dress or different things like that. Involve your family member. You can make a lot of moves with 6 joints, and after the 6, you double up and get some more and build. Everything ain't a quick bit flip. You know what I mean? Quick. You know what I mean? You have to grind and work your way up. So like I said, I respect that. You know what I mean? Like I said, maybe it was irking his heart where he had to speak on it. Me personally, I'm gonna say it because you doing that now as a homeboy. Now like, hold up. Now it's like you sacrifice your mom, you sacrifice anybody. See, now that's the thing. But the good thing, like you say, he didn't mention it to nobody. Because how you mention it to, let's say, if me and him homeboys and we rocking together, and you mention it to me, now I'm like, everything fair game to you when it comes to some money. You may sell me out for some paper. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, he didn't mention it to nobody. So it's like now it's like people might be like, I don't know, but you have to be careful about that dollar. You know what I mean? All money, not good money. Yes, you want money, but it's always an alternative way. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't know how much it was. I'm just throwing the number 20 out there. I would have got less from another connect and wouldn't have had to put my peoples in a situation like that. Also, I want to also correct, and I'm surprised he didn't. And this is what I don't like with a lot of these guys. It seems like when it comes to people who got money, guys like Puff, people don't want to call it how it is. I don't know, maybe because I just don't understand it. He's saying, "Oh, Puff from Harlem," and if you from Harlem, most people when you from Harlem, you got a block. You from here, you from there. You got to identify where you from anywhere. Harlem, Brooklyn. Jay-Z is from Marcy. You know what I mean? Biggie was from what it was, Gates Avenue somewhere. Everybody identified Easy, and they said they from Compton, and they give their blocks or whatever the case may be. Puff is not from Harlem. Let's just, and a lot of people I noticed maybe don't want to ruff no feathers and say that. I was locked up with a lot of guys from Mount Vernon, and that's irked them. Every time Puff pump up Harlem, it irks these Mount Vernon dudes, and I don't blame them. I'm siding with Mount Vernon on that because you have to be proud of where you're from. I don't care if Harlem is more of a popping name than Mount Vernon. You still don't run off the clout of a borough and you're not from there. Like, I don't care. See this, they say, oh, yeah, he's born there. He left at 3 years old. You don't have no memories of nothing. You leave at 3 and you grew up in Mount Vernon. If you notice, all his history with guys is from Mount Vernon. Everybody from Mount Vernon, I know, Papa, I know. Who in Harlem know him? That grew up with him. Like, you know what I mean? What block he's from? What block you stood on and you lived in this building? I lived in 2A and I was next door neighbor. This is my next door neighbor right here. He don't have that type of background with Harlem. And Shannon asked him who the Mount Rushmore of Harlem. He said Puff #1. He said for all what Puff did and things like that, but Puff is not from Harlem. That just like Michael Jordan, he left. Michael Jordan born in Brooklyn. He left at 3 years old. Same thing like Puff. I think they left at 3. Michael Jordan, everything he can remember is North Carolina. Walking the streets, walking to the store, people know him like, growing up. Oh, I remember him, and they could give stories. No, who could give a story on Puff, an older person on Puff? Oh, I remember he used to come to this candy store all the time when he was 9 years old in Harlem, and he ran with this person, and who you could connect them with. So and I wish he would have really broke that down. But like I said, it's easy when a guy got money, and like he said, he ain't never meet him. He probably don't want to ruffle them feathers and be like, yo, I don't consider him no Harlem dude. Forget that he reps it. He talks Harlem, but Puff is not Harlem. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. He left when he's 3 years old in Mount Vernon. All you ask, I guarantee you go to any dude in Mount Vernon from probably the age of 40 to 55 or 60, whatever. They all, yo, I know him. He used to live right here. Or woo, we went to school together. We used to hang out together. He's hung with this person. He been with that person. All of Mount Vernon dudes know him. Nobody in Harlem don't know him. Maybe I'm not saying he maybe ain't come and knew a couple people, but ask him where he's from, what block he's from, you left at 3 years old. Come on, like we not gonna do that. That's just like you 3 and you move to the West Coast and you grow up and now you 40. You from the West Coast. You born there, but like, come on, it's what it is. Same thing like Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony is from Baltimore. He left New York as a little kid, where it's no real recollection. Where, okay, I remember I was do this. This was my homeboy. Da 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 da. We ran and did this. No, you is from Baltimore. All those people, you Baltimore. So and like Tupac, like he said, Tupac not from. When they spoke on Tupac in that interview, and he's like, Tupac is not from Harlem. He's not even from, but he's like, he rep West Coast. Tupac was a guy that's like moving around everywhere. So it's like kind of hard to pinpoint, but people more look at him more of a West Coast type of guy because he went out to Oakland for a long time. But I would wish he would have went more in depth with that and kept it real on that. And you can't give a guy Mount Rushmore and say he's #1 and he's not from there. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, all in all, basically, like I said, good interview. Respect to him, for, like I said, maybe he was eating him up inside that he did that. Me personally, I wouldn't even told that story. And I definitely wouldn't even done nothing like that. Like I said, you always have to weigh your options at all costs. You always have to look at if something may go wrong. You can't just jump and things look good and be like, you jump at it. Because things could have went left and you put your whole family in jeopardy. Because people going to kill for that money. They're going to kill for that. You know what I'm saying? And they going to wipe shit down. So, like I said, like, comment, share, subscribe, peace.